Hey, folks, back again this morning here on Devoted Patriots 2 channel. Thanks for showing up right off the bat. Let me just say that. I found a meme today that I thought was spot on. I should have found it yesterday or the day before when this event actually happened, but I'm going to call this meme of the day. And if you like it, give me a thumbs up. And I've got several things I want to tell you all about today. Got some great clips, some smashing on Kamala, some facts that have happened over the last couple of days, including the fact that Tulsi Gabbard is now officially on Team Trump and a Republican. Let me fix my camera, folks, just a little bit. All right. This right here, I think, is probably the best meme I've seen in a long time. Remember a couple of days back, there was a Kamala Harris event, and there was two young guys there from the local college, and they're against the whole abortion thing, as are a lot of us. And when Kamala was speaking, they said, "Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord." Kamala Harris stopped the rally and says, "You guys are at the wrong, must be at the wrong rally." Ha 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 ha. And a lot of people took that in an offensive way, including myself. I thought it was just plumb shitty. It was kind of blasphemous in its own way. Well, this meme right here says it all right here. And this is just one more reason not to vote for Kamala Harris. If you're a Christian, you're voting for Kamala Harris. You got your head screwed on wrong. Wrong rally, girl. Girl, I'm everywhere. That's what I believe Jesus would have said, because that is true. Jesus is everywhere. Jesus is in all of us, including those Kamala Harris supporters that are just lost right now. So I want to just put a prayer out to everyone that is lost in this world behind too much propaganda in their life, um, because it has definitely warped the minds of so many. I'm talking about Trump derangement syndrome, just the masses being manipulated by the government through mainstream media. It's horribly sad. It causes division in this country like nothing I've ever seen. I blame more than either party for the evil that goes on in this country. I blame the media for not doing their job and taking care of their responsibilities as investigative journalists, getting to the bottom of things, exposing things, and sharing it with the people on the television, on the internet, so we can find out what these people are all about. But instead, the media now, 99% of the media now covers for the left wing, and it's blatantly obvious how our country got in such bad shape. And it is I solely blame the media for so much of the problem. Just lying, hiding, deceiving, propagandizing, and spinning every story on its head like a spin doctor would, and it's just it's ridiculous. But enough about that, folks. I've got several things I wanted to bring to y'all today, all short clips, but several of them. First off, we'll get into Jesse Waters is explaining how the Democrats are hitting the panic button, and I think he's right. This is really a great clip here.
Polls suggest that you're having shortcomings with Latinos, specifically with Latino men. Why do you think that President Donald Trump has been able to make those gains with Latinos?
Listen, Donald Trump has, when he was president, had policies that I think have been very harmful to working people. You know, he gave tax cuts to billionaires and the biggest corporations. He will do that again.
But why is he winning with Latino voters? Not winning, but, you know, winning more voters.
But this is not my experience. My experience is I talk with Latino voters every day, all the time. And there is an incredible amount of support there.
Reporters are getting testy with Harris.
But I've got another crazy lefty here, and this is why we got to get out and vote, folks, because we can't let people like this run the country. Check it out.
Hi. I want to know how you can vote.
We can't answer the door right now, but if you'd like to leave a message, you can do it now.
Shameful.
Are you the one that walks by here and always screaming at people?
No, I haven't walked by recently.
Okay, a lot of people walk by and scream.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. You are voting for the devil. Don't you know that?
No,
Why are you voting for him?
because I believe he is the moral candidate.
Oh, my God. F you for that one.
That's
Moral?
exactly right. That's how your side acts.
Oh, my God.
That's
He's
how
the
you
most
guys-
immoral person around.
In your opinion, that's
Oh,
okay.
Damn.
I'm sorry. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. God, but
everybody's opposed to you. I want to know.
This lady was mad because this woman had obviously a Trump sign in her yard, so she had to come knock on her neighbor's door and be a Karen and try to ask her neighbor how could she vote for the devil. Neighbor's like, "Oh, vote for her. I want to vote for her. Get out of here, crazy lady. Time to go. Let the ring camera deal with her." This is what we're dealing with, folks. We're dealing with a bunch of left wing lunatics out here harassing people to vote the wrong direction, even harassing her behind her yard sign. This is probably the lady that runs up and down the street screaming about the yard sign here. Folks, I don't know what to say about the crazy left because there is a million of these videos out there with people just like this, just straight up lefties losing it. All right, folks, here we go. God, I'm glad she's not my neighbor. That's all I can say about that. I'd have to put some Trump signs in her front yard. For you here over on Twitter, some good stuff for you. Just stick around. Guaranteed not to disappoint.
Do you bring to the table, and how do you plan to overcome them while you're in office?
That's a great question.
We got Kamala getting scorched. It's brutal, folks.
What weaknesses do you bring to the table, and how do you plan to overcome them while you're in office?
That's a great question, Joe. Well, I am certainly not perfect, so let's start there. Perhaps a weakness, I think that my decision-making process, but I actually think it's the strength, is I really do value. My team will tell you I am constantly saying, let's kick the tire on that. Let's kick the tires. So I may not be quick to have the answer as soon as you ask it about a specific policy issue sometimes, because I'm going to want to research it. I'm going to want to study it. I'm kind of a nerd sometimes, I confess. I mean, I've made many mistakes.
You got that right.
You make lots of mistakes too. In my role as vice president, I think that is very important. Well, there was a lot that was done, but there's more to do, Anderson. And
like I said, I got several of these for you today, folks. Now, we've even got Chris Cuomo, of all people. I think he just endorsed Trump. Check this out. He slammed the crap out of Kamala.
Kamala Harris is not a godsend, all right? You people didn't even like her 6 months ago. Now, all of a sudden, she's black female Jesus, the way Obama was black Jesus. And let me tell you something. He had a lot more going for him than Kamala Harris does. And not just as firsts go, but his type of campaigning, his type of persuasion, his charisma, okay? He was imbued with things that she is not. And I don't mean that as a criticism. It's just a point of comparison. And her process fucked her also. There's a convenience in it, but it fucked her also. Because there are a lot of misgivings about her. There's an underlying feeling that she didn't get this the right way. She may not have won a primary. She didn't even make it to the first round of primaries when she did run. And that is both fair and unfair at the same time. But look, this idea of don't say anything bad about her because Trump, I don't buy that. I don't buy that. And it's not how you get to a better place. It's a relative assessment. She has negatives. So does he. Does he have more? Yeah. He also has a way more intense following. That's why this race is so tight. Now explain that to me. Unless you want to write off half this country as bigots, how do you explain it being so tight? Maybe you're not as right about everything as you think you are. Maybe you should be a little bit more open to the people that you disagree with. Maybe they're not all racists.
Like I said, I got several of these clips for you folks. We'll just burn right through all of them. Lots of good stuff, a little bit informative, a little bit comical, and glad to see things are coming around. But don't forget, there's always a crazy lefty around the corner trying to steal your vote. So please make sure you vote in your state. Don't make an excuse not to make it to the polls this year. We need your vote. Now, this here is really an awesome speech. This is great, folks. This is called Where Are the Children? I believe this is Telemundo. Ask some questions about Kamala Harris.
This is for all the media, for all Mexican Americans, Hispanic Americans, to vote for President Trump. And I know we will win for the third time. For the third time. Yes. Yes. We will win for the third time. And that's a fact. It's not an opinion. It's a fact. Because it's true. Because it's true. Look what is happening right now. Look what is happening right now with these evil people. Obama, Hillary, Kamala, Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, all this team. There's more than 300,000 children, over 300,000 children that they came through the border, they released them, and we don't know where they are. Kamala, where are the children? Kamala, where are the children? You know, these people, Kamala and Biden, they're the biggest human traffickers in the history.
That's right.
And everyone knows that. And that's why I'm here to give my 100% to support my dear friend, President Donald Trump. And again, we will win for the third time. God bless.
I love it. I love it. I like to see this. Somebody calling out Kamala and the Democrats for what's really going on in this country. We need to speak a little bit more about this human trafficking problem. I'm surprised this isn't on every Trump campaign ad, because this does matter to the American people. This hits right at the heart, hits right at the core of your morality. If you agree to allow this to continue, the fentanyl and the human trafficking, and God knows what's happening to these lost children, we got to vote this stuff out, folks. We've got to fix our country. That's why it's so important everybody vote. And I'm just appreciative this guy put this out here. Telemundo commentator. Now this here I thought was great as well. Another great clip. Check it. I don't know who this guy is. Can't nobody seem to figure it out, but this was an awesome interview right here. Just kind of like Benny on the Block does,
This guy just yelled in the street, Trump 2024. What makes you love Donald Trump?
If you're truly a patriotic American, how could you not love Donald Trump? If you actually are somebody that does your research and your due diligence as opposed to being pushed by somebody else's propagandist talking points, how could you hate Donald Trump? He's the most popular businessman in American history. If you wanted a movie to be popular throughout all of before 2016, who has the most cameos? I find it funny that as soon as he became a Republican, he became racist. But name me that racist that won an NAACP award. I'll wait. Didn't we have peace around the world when Trump was in office? Why are we in war right now? Oh, and for that daggone bill y'all want to keep talking about the border, well, y'all were okay with the administration giving $60 billion to Ukraine so they can put 1,500 at the border. Here's something else deeper for you to think about. Didn't they leave millions and millions of guns in Afghanistan unguarded and unattended and left the country? Directly after that, Xi Jinping and Putin came down and gave them legitimacy. Well, what happens after that? Oh, didn't Biden give Putin access to a gas pipeline? And then directly after that, he went to war with Ukraine. And then was it a coincidence that one of our basketball stars got locked up in Russia and we traded her for Victor Boot? So we traded the Lord of War for Brittany Griner with a whole bunch of unattended guns in Afghanistan. That's what you voted for. That's better than Trump. You need to wake up, bro.
Damn. That was very good. He telling this other guy, you voted for Kamala, you voted for that? You need to wake up. I got a couple more of these for you folks. I guess it's going to be a little bit of a long video today, but I don't mind. Hopefully y'all stick around. This is great. I don't know if y'all seen this yet or not. This is a few days old. We just can go ahead and play it. This is one of the best compilations I've seen in a while.
A wet raccoon doesn't have $7 billion fucking dollars in the bank. Involved, excuse me, my turn. You said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me.
The total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. And your father was never considered smart. He was never considered a good senator. He was only a good vice president because he understood how to kiss Barack Obama's ass. Are you ready? Can I talk?
Yeah, what's
You
the
mind?
answer?
Do you mind?
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple to, you're a nasty person. Don't be rude. I'm not going to give you a question. You are fake news. If I were running The View, I'd fire Rosie. I mean, I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers. I'd say, Rosie, you're fired.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail. She's shocked that I picked her. She's like in a state of shock.
I'm not thinking, Mr.
That's
President.
okay. I know you're not thinking. You never do. She was big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went out. Wait a minute. I'm talking now. If you don't mind, please. Does that sound familiar?
And if you haven't seen this, folks, this is epic too. This is Black GOP voters explain their concerns about Harris on MSDNC, and they actually played the video on MSDNC.
What are your feelings, and let me start with the women here, about Kamala Harris?
She's a woman of color. I'm not putting her down because of that, and I'm not putting her down because she's a woman. I'm not a feminist, so I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, I don't think that she has the personality. I don't think that she has what it takes to go up against Putin and go up against these other presidents that are built for this. I don't want to be scared because my president is scared. I want my president to feel secure and manly and about it.
We brought up gender, right? Like, do you think it matters that she's a woman and people aren't comfortable having a woman in a top leadership role?
No, I don't think that, because most men, they love their mothers. They love their wives. So as a woman, most men, they respect the woman. But she just don't have the qualification or the education to really run America, because she don't have the experience. She don't understand our struggles. And for me to believe you for another 4 years, you're crazy. Right. Like, you're crazy. You're saying the same thing that you said 4 years ago.
So the fact that she's the vice president
That's
to
just
you
the
is
bottom line.
You're like, you've been here, you've had a chance.
Yes. Well, for me, the very first time I ever heard the name Kamala Harris, it was in association to locking up parents for truancy. That was the first time I ever heard of her name. And I really didn't understand how this person claims to be a black woman, but yet she's locking up black women and black men and separating families.
This is the thing that is, Trump talks about this a lot. He says, you know, Kamala Harris became black when it was convenient.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me about, do you agree with him on that? Do you feel like she's wearing her blackness?
Absolutely. She's sworn into when she sworn to the Senate, it was as the first Indian American.
Thank you.
Which is, it's fine. We don't care.
We all know she's not black. Let's understand that. We are all clear of that. But my point of view, and like I told you earlier, she's already been there. She's in office right now.
She's already in office right now. She's had 4 years to prove herself, and we're still waiting. How can she give us new and improved when she hasn't given us anything worth having in the first 4? Last video clip of the day, folks. I thought I'd bring you. This is Tucker Carlson speaking at the Charlie Kirk Turning Point Action USA event yesterday, where Trump and so many others were, RFK. If you didn't get a chance to watch some of that, several great speeches. Let me just let you know, several great speeches. All right, folks, last one of the day. Let's get it done.
The story the country tells itself about reality has flipped. None of the normal people are supporting the Democratic machine. Tim Walz is supporting the Democratic machine. A man you would never allow to babysit your own children. That's the archetype. It's the party of weirdos, of envy, of hate, of resentment, of bitterness, of weakness, of a total lack of creativity. It's a party of conformity. It's a party of the machine, where it doesn't matter who the candidate is because individuals are immaterial. All that matters is the collective. That's the Soviet model. And opposing them is the rest of the country, slowly waking up to the fact that these people have no moral authority whatsoever. They have no legitimacy in a democracy. where the government must rule by the consent of the governed. They have no consent. And the way that they've treated this country over the past 4 years is the most shocking thing I've ever seen in 55 years. To allow millions of people, mostly young men with no skills and no English, into our country illegally, and then fly them around at our expense and give them phones and put them on welfare programs that no American citizen can get. It is the most insulting. Yeah, boo. Yes. But it's worse than boo. That's the biggest crime in the history of the United States of America. And it takes incredible stones, incredible gall for the people who did that to stand up there on a stage and give you a lecture about how you're immoral. It's too much. And so that's the second important thing about this election, okay? The first is every person in this room needs to understand you are not in a despised minority. You are in an incredibly gentle and tolerant majority who put up with this crap for way too long. As they insulted not only you, but the memory of your ancestors who died for this country.
Yes.
They tore down statues to their memory. People have never built anything in their lives. They went out of their way to humiliate you and spit on you and the graves of your ancestors. And that's not an exaggeration. They did that. And this country is so nice. It's so polite. It's so thoughtful and empathetic and sweet. It's the kind of country that loves dogs and gives directions to strangers, that we put up with it for 4 years. But we can't anymore.
Nope.
We just can't.